Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm doing a full solo playthrough of The Loop. Dr. Faux has created a terrible time machine in order to rule the world. He is spreading clones throughout history, creating rifts in reality. We play time agents tasked with stopping his evil plans by eliminating his clones and destroying his time machine once and for all. Now, when you're playing the solo game, you can play with 2, 3, or 4 characters. I chose to go with 3 characters. I've got their boards right here, and I took their 6 starting cards, shuffled them together to form an 18-card deck. I've also randomly distributed 8 clones. I'm playing on the medium difficulty level, so we will also be playing with these mega vortexes. I'll explain those if and when they come up. I've randomly picked 2 starting missions. If you don't know how to play, don't worry. As always, I'm going to explain the game as we play, so let's just dive right in. The first thing we do in the solo game is determine which of the time agents is going to be the active agent for the turn, and the way you do that is by drawing from this deck. Each of these cards belongs to one of the time agents, and so we just keep drawing and placing cards into that particular time agent's hand until one of them has 3 cards. Okay, we get quite an even distribution. There we go. Mr. Time has 3 cards, so that means he's going to be our active agent for this round. Now, this is Mr. Time. He has a special ability. Once per turn during your action phase, you may move another agent 1 era. As you can see, we have the 3 agents on the board, and each of these different regions represents a different era of time. You have your antiquity here, medieval, Renaissance, industrial, global, robot, and the end of days, apocalyptic future. And our time agents are going to be moving around the board. The next thing we do is we add another clone to the board. And to do that, you draw from this bag. The back of the clone tile shows which era it starts in. And the front shows which era you need to take it to in order to create a time paradox that will destroy the clone. And that's what we're trying to do. We really need to take care of these clones because they're going to start creating rifts in space-time, and that can cost us the game. Now, in order to win the game, there's only one thing we have to do. We need to complete 4 of these missions. Now, only 2 are out at a time. When we complete one of these missions, a new one will be revealed. Right now, our 2 missions are to reunite the foes, which means we need to destroy a clone in Dr. Faux's era, and we need to do that 4 times. This other one says clog up Dr. Faux's machine, and to do that we need to remove a rift token from Dr. Faux's era. We need to do that 5 times. I'll explain what all that means a little bit later. Let's just keep going on. So the next thing we need to do is reveal a new card. Each of these cards has an era that it goes into. This is the Holy Grail. So it's going to go right there in the medieval time. And those are cards that we can pick up and add to our deck. This game has a deck building aspect. Now, the next thing we do is draw a Faux card to see which era Dr. Faux is going to be in. And it shows here that Dr. Faux is in the medieval era. So we center up his time machine to that era. We then have to drop rift cubes, and the number of rift cubes that we drop is shown right here, 2 plus the number of clones in Dr. Faux's era, which right now is just this one. So we're going to be dropping 3 rift cubes. And there we go. They sort of get randomized into the 3 different eras there. So 2 popped out here. They go right there, and 1 came over here into the Renaissance. Now that is a really big problem because right now we have 3 rift cubes in that one era. If we were to get another rift cube here, this era would effectively be destroyed. a vortex would come out and this mission would go away. That would be really, really bad. So we have got to take care of that. Now, luckily, one of our missions is to get rid of rift cubes from Dr. Faux's era. So that's going to line up really nice. So now it is Mr. Time's turn. There's a bunch of things that Mr. Time can do. He can move. He can tap one of his cards in order to use the special ability. And he can perform a loop, which I'll explain here in a moment. Let's look at his cards for a second. His Double Battle Monocle says, move one clone from your era to another agent's era. His Splendid Pocket Watch says, remove one Rift Cube from any agent's era. And his Ionic Temporograph says, in another agent's era, either add one Energy Cube, the green cubes, or remove one Rift Cube. Okay, so I think the first thing that he wants to do is use this card in order to add some energy. And he's going to add an energy cube right here to the purple player's era. I think the next thing he wants to do is use a Splendid Pocket Watch. And he's going to use that just to remove one of the Rift Cubes from the era that he's in. Just clearing that up a little bit. He's now going to use his special ability, which is once per turn during your action phase, you may move another agent one era. So he's going to move the yellow agent into the industrial era. And then use his Double Battle Monocle, which will let him move this clone that is in his era to the yellow agent's era. And because this clone is green, that creates a temporal paradox which causes this clone to be removed from existence. And we just throw them back in the bag. Now at this point, I think Mr. Time wants to perform a loop. And in order to perform your first loop, that's going to cost one energy from the era that you're currently in. And as you can see right here, Mr. Time has one energy cube where he is. So he's going to spin that to perform a loop. When performing a loop, you're allowed to refresh cards of one type from your hand, as many cards of that type. And there are basically three different icons here. You can see these straight lines and the star. There's also some swirlies. And so he's going to refresh these two star cards. Now, if you wanted to perform a loop a second time, it would require 2 energy. And if you wanted to do it a third time, it would be 3 energy, and so on. He's now going to move one era, and there's 2 ways that you can do that. Every time agent has a free move one era ability. You can also move an era by spending 1 energy cube. Since he has no energy cubes, he's going to move by just using his free move. You flip it over to show that you've done that move. And he's going to come over here. And now he's going to use his Splendid Pocket Watch to remove a Rift Cube from his space. And because this is at Dr. Faux's location, that is satisfying this mission. So we just put it there to show that, yay, we've done that. We just need to do that 4 more times to complete it. This Double Battle Monocle is less useful. Don't think he really wants to use that. Now, when you're done taking actions, you're then allowed to claim 1 card that's in the era where you've stopped. And right now, we have this Holy Grail right here. So Mr. Time's going to take that and add it to his hand. These are all going to go into the discard pile.
Stop everything! It's Mr. Time! I've come from the future to warn you. This guy who calls himself Shaggy has made a terrible mistake that is threatening to destroy the very fabric of reality. Everybody knows when you collect an artifact from an era, you place it on top of your draw deck, not in the discard pile. What was he thinking? Something must be done before we're all doomed and the universe as we know it ceases to exist.
And now if you had completed any of the missions, you could complete those now, but we haven't done that yet. So we're going to recharge him, move him back to his normal side, and we're ready for the next round. Okay, first things first, we have to check to see who's going to be the active agent. Okay, looks like it's going to be Robofinisher 404. Now we've got to draw the clone. Going in the robot spot. Get a card. Ooh, come down here. And then we reveal a Faux card. Okay, Dr. Faux is heading all the way over here into the globalization age. We're going to be dropping 3 rift cubes, 2 plus the number of clones. All right, that's not too bad. Okay, the Robofinisher's special ability says, starting with the second clone you destroy on your turn, each time you destroy a clone in any era, either add an energy cube or remove a rift there. So the Robofinisher really wants to be destroying clones. Unfortunately, we're trying to destroy clones in Dr. Faux's era, and right now there aren't any clones that want to go to that era. So we're gonna have to wait on that. The other thing we're trying to do is destroy these rift cubes in Dr. Faux's era, and there's 2 of them right there. So that might be what we try to do. And look at this, we have the perfect card to do so. So let's just go ahead and play that. Remove 1 rift from an adjacent era. There we go. We remove that rift and we put it on there. We just need 3 more to complete that. The sniper shotgun says push up to 2 clones to an adjacent era or eras. We also have this 1000 League Boots. Move to any era, then push 1 clone there to an adjacent era. Man, this would have been a really great turn to be able to kill some clones in Dr. Faux's era, but it just didn't happen. We're going to use these boots. We're going to fly over here. And we're going to push 1 clone to an adjacent era. Pushing means you just move them. So this clone's going to get pushed over here and is going to get destroyed. Then we're going to use the Robofinisher's free move to come here. And then we're going to use the sniper shotgun. Push up to 2 clones to an adjacent era or eras. We'll push both of these clones into here. This one's getting closer to where it needs to go, and then this one gets destroyed. And when the Robofinisher destroys their second clone, they can remove a rift cube. And so that's what they're going to do. Now, if you notice here, these 2 cards are blank. That means that they cannot be used in a loop. You can never refresh those cards. So they're really just 1 time per turn use cards. Okay, and I think that's it. Robofinisher didn't end their turn anywhere with a card, so they're not going to be able to take 1 this turn, but that's okay. They did some good work. We just discard and start again. Okay. Time for the Time Prowler's turn. Ooh, we get another card here. Going to the Renaissance. That could be trouble. That could be trouble. Luckily, there are no clones there, though. So we're just putting 2 rift cubes. Ooh, and they both went right there. Okay. So the Time Prowler, their special ability, during your Faux phase, after dropping those rift cubes, choose 1 that was dropped and remove it. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Okay, so we have quantum bandages here. Remove 1 rift cube from your era. That's going to be great. The digital watches add a energy to the next era. So that'd be sort of in time in clockwise direction. And this says push 1 clone to an adjacent era. Well, we do have an opportunity, don't we? Okay, I think right away, we just want to use our quantum bandage to remove 1 of these. Not in Dr. Faux's era, but we don't want those building up and creating vortexes. I think we're going to... Wow. I think we're just going to go ahead and use the digital watch. That'll put an energy right there. And honestly, I think we just have to use the brawler gloves. And we'll just push this a little bit closer. Then we're going to perform a loop. We'll use that energy. And we can loop the quantum bandage and the digital watch. We're then going to use our free move. Head over here. Let's remove one of these. That's Dr. Faux's era. So there we go. And we'll just use the digital watch. Add some energy there. And that's all we can do. Now we ended here, so we can add this card to our deck.
I can't believe he did it again! Who is this moron, and why does he have a YouTube channel where he plays board games? Luckily, almost no one watches him, so I might be able to contain the damage. Like I said before, when you gain an artifact, you put it on top of your deck, not in the discard pile. This incompetence must be stopped!
And we are done. Let's see who's going to be next. Oh, look at that. Time Prowler is going again. Let's see what clone we get. Okay, that's a nice easy one. All right. Sliding over a bit. Looks like we're dropping 3 Rift Cubes. Wow, perfectly even distribution. And the Time Prowler can remove one of those. I think we'll remove it from right here. Okay, we can add one to a previous era. That could be useful. Sure, let's go ahead and do that. That way we're dropping off one for Mr. Time. Remove 1 rift from one of the next 2 eras. Well, that's just perfect. So we're gonna use that right away. And now we only need to remove that one last one, and we've completed that mission. Let's see what the Prowler's coat says. Move 1 era, then remove 1 from your era. Well, there you go. That is absolutely perfect. Let's use that. We'll move, and we'll remove a rift. And now we have completed that mission. In order to actually complete the mission, you need to have an agent at that spot in that era at the end of their turn. I think we definitely want to perform a loop. Spend that energy. We can get those 2 back. Let's go ahead and bag of tricks. Let's go ahead and quantum wrench. And now we can use our free move to get into the globalization era. Now we could loop again, but we would need 2 energy in order to loop again. And there's only 1 energy right here. If we ended right here, we could use that 2 energy to loop again, which would be nice. But I think we're happy where we are. We're gonna end our turn there. The Time Prowler stopped here, so they can take this card. And I just realized I've been making a mistake. When you take a new artifact, you're supposed to add it to the top of the deck, not to the discard pile.
It worked! Fiddling with the Spectra thingamadoohickey managed to jog his quantum temporal brain cells. I'm a genius! They don't call me Mr. Time for nothing. You're welcome, citizens. Of course, the card destiny is ruined, rendering this entire playthrough completely fraudulent, but I'm merely a humble time agent doing my job. Back to the idiot!
So 2 of those cards should have gone on top of the deck. There's a little mistake there, but as I always like to say, it's never too late to start playing the game correctly. So we'll get it right from here on out. Hopefully that mistake won't cause some sort of, rift in time and space or anything like that. I'm sure it'll be fine. So that card's going to go on top of the deck. And now the Time Prowler can complete this mission. You have to be in the era of the mission to complete it. Let's go through the steps of completing a mission. First thing you do is just remove everything. You can take the mission off and you just place it off to the side in a scoring pile. Remember, we're trying to complete 4 of those to win the game. We're then going to reveal a new mission, and it's going to be revealed in Dr. Faux's current era, which is right here. Okay, so that mission wants us to destroy a clone in 6 different eras. So now both of our missions involve destroying clones. That's going to have to be a hyper focus. Okay, we then get to draw artifacts from the deck equal to the number of players plus 1. And since we're playing a solo game, we draw 2 and pick 1 and add it to the top of our deck. So we have Virus Sample and Expired Currywurst. Well, since we're going to need to be destroying clones, I think this Virus Sample will be a perfect choice. So let's grab that one. And that other one will just get discarded. We can now clean up. And so now we have an interesting choice. Because this card, this new artifact that we got, does not belong in anyone's starter deck, we can choose which pile, which time agent we give it to. And in that way, we have a little bit of control over who will go next. I'm going to give it to the Robofinisher. Since we need to destroy a bunch of clones, the Robofinisher is great at killing clones. So that seems like a good choice. Okay, let's add a clone right here. Uh-oh, there's 3 clones there. That's not good. All right. Let's see where Dr. Faux is going to be. Ooh, coming right here. Okay, there's only 1 clone there, so that's going to be 3 Rift Cubes. Whoa. Okay. That's a little bit unfortunate. I think we're going to go ahead and use this Virus Sample. It says destroy 1 clone in Dr. Faux's era and 1 in an era adjacent to Dr. Faux. So we'll get to destroy this one. And because we destroyed that in Dr. Faux's era, we can place 1 cube there. And we did Antiquity, so we can place a cube here. So that was nice. And now we can do one in an adjacent era. So let's blow up that one. And that would fulfill that. And because that was the second clone that the Robofinisher destroyed, they can either add an energy cube or remove a rift. And we'll remove that rift since that's building up. Let's go ahead and add an energy cube to Dr. Faux's era using the random punchline generator. And now we can pull 1 clone from an adjacent era and then push 1 to an adjacent era. We'd like to do that here because then we could add another one to Dr. Faux's era, but it would be much better to do that here. Yeah, so I think we want to move over there. So Robofinisher is going to move, and again, you can move using your free move on your board, or you can spend a energy cube to move. And so I think she's going to spend that energy cube to move here. Then use her free move to come here. And now she's going to use the Confusion Dart Launcher. She can pull from an adjacent era. And so she'll pull this one into here, thus destroying it. And when she does that, she can add a cube. That's her 3rd clone destroyed. And that's the robot era, so it'll go right here. She can now push 1 from her era into an adjacent era. And so she'll go ahead and push. She could either push this one or this one. Let's push this one over here, which will destroy it. We can add a cube to there. And do we want to add an energy or remove this rift. Maybe we'll remove this rift cube. Yeah. No. Let's add an energy. And I think she will use an energy to move back here. That way she can grab one of these two cards. And I think that's it. I think she's done. She can't loop these two cards. She could loop the random number generator or punchline generator. That doesn't do a whole lot of good. So I think she's done. I think she's going to take the bat of the final judgment. And again, we're going to add that right to the top of the deck. There we go. That was an extremely productive turn. And again, we have a choice. We could have Mr. Time go right now. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. So we'll give him the bat of the final judgment. That'll be 3 cards. He becomes the active agent. Okay, let's see where Dr. Faux's gonna go. Ah. Right there. So we know the last place he's gonna go is right there. Looks like 3 rift cubes. Ooh, nice even distribution. Well, he definitely wants to move over there and take care of that clone using the bat of final judgment. We know that. He can move an agent. He can add some energy where the agents are. So this isn't going to be a stupendous turn. Okay. I think he'll move just using his ability to here. He'll then use the bat of final judgment, which lets him move a clone from his era to Dr. Faux's era. That will destroy it, which gives us 1 there and not 1 over there because we've already destroyed in that era before. That's a shame. Okay, so we know Dr. Faux is coming here. I think we're going to want Robofinisher, so he's going to use his special ability to move Robofinisher there. So I'm going to add an energy to another agent's era. And then he can move 2 eras. Maybe here. He can then place any agent in another agent's era. So he'll move the Time Prowler over. And since there's no energy there, an energy gets added. He's going to use that energy to do a loop. Going to loop those 2 cards. He can then bat a final judgment to remove a rift from Dr. Faux's location. Then he can place any agent in another agent's era. Yeah, let's maybe get Time Prowler there as well in case we want her to come up and be over there. Okay, and I think that's kind of all that he can do. Now he can pick up this card here. Remove 2 rifts from your era. If there's another agent in your era, also remove 1 from each adjacent era. That seems really good, so let's pick that up. And we can clean up. Okay. So I think we want Robofinisher. 4 cubes are going to get added here, which could put us in danger of getting a vortex here. If you ever have 4 rifts in one era, you get a vortex, and that's bad. If you get 4 vortexes, you lose. Also, if you get 2 vortexes in the same era, that's another way to lose the game. So we're trying to avoid vortexes. Now the Time Prowler could help us by removing one of the rifts if we were to show up here. So maybe we want the Time Prowler. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. Stable Cola. Discard or destroy 1 in your hand. Add 2 to... Okay, that's not super helpful right now. Let's put that over here. Ooh, that has to go to Dr. Time. Or Mr. Time, sorry. And that goes to the Robofinisher. Okay. So now we take the deck. Since we're out of cards, we shuffle our discard pile, and that becomes our new deck. Okay, let's see. All right, Time Prowler, that's what we wanted. And Time Prowler. Okay, perfect. So it worked out in the end. Let's see what clone comes out. Okay, that's not really going to help us. And we know that this is going to be robotics era. And we have 4, since we have 2 clones there, 4 rifts are coming out. Whoo, boy, okay. So only 2 here. I still think I'll have the Time Prowler remove one of them. So here, we just remove 2 from your era. And if there's another agent in your era, also remove 1 from each adjacent era. Wow, that's fantastic. So we get to go take those and those. We cleared up some rifts right there. This just lets us add a cube over here. And this lets us add an energy to the previous era. All right. I'm not sure I see anything else. Looping wouldn't be that great, so I think that's it. Does she want to move somewhere else? Yeah, probably. I'll have her do her move over to here. Actually, no. She'll move here. That way she can pick up this card here. This Time-nado. And that'll go right on top. Perfect. Now we can clean up. And because the Faux deck is empty, we have to take these cards, shuffle them, and put them on this second deck spot. As you can see, now we're going to be drawing 2 clones instead of just 1. This is also a little bit of a timer for the game. If the Faux deck runs out after the 3rd spot, then we lose the game. You can also see we'll be adding 3 clones once this deck gets over here. So we're definitely in a rush to try to do this as fast as possible. The game just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Okay, let's see who's going to be our next active agent. I think I want it to be Mr. Time. Okay, like I said, we're going to have to draw 2 clones. Well, those were really bad clones. They have a very long way to go. Do get just 1 card. Ah, to the pink. That is a terrible place. Okay, well, looks like 4 rifts. Oh, this could be bad. Ooh, okay. Wow, that could have easily blown up in our face. This could have gone and we would have lost all of our progress here. That's the thing I need to reiterate. If this blows up and a vortex comes in here, this goes away and all of your progress. Oh, and unfortunately I have no cards here that are really helping me to deal with those rifts. So we're in a bad situation right now. We have to just hope that this era is okay. Because there's not much I can do to protect it. Let's use our mechanical grappling hook. This is going to let us pull a clone from an adjacent era. Let's pull this one over and get rid of it. Okay, that helps us on that mission. We have 2 more Oh, actually, we only need one more. It says destroy in 6 different eras, and we've done 5, so we don't need to do all 7. We just need to do 6. Oh, okay. And we could do it right here. Okay, guys. I have a plan. I have a plan. Let's use the Time NATO to add an energy in our era. Then we're going to use the Unstable Cola. That's going to let us discard or destroy 1 card in your hand to add 2 to that era's location. And we're going to discard the Unstable Cola itself. That's going to add 2 energy here. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to move. We'll use our special move to get over here. And then we'll loop. We're going to loop the mechanical grappling hook. Immediately use it to pull this in. That clone gets destroyed, and there you go. We've completed this mission. So we're going to need to move over there so that we can finish it off, which is not a problem. We have so much energy. I'm wondering, do I want to? No, I don't want to. I was thinking of maybe grappling this over. We could loop again. We could grapple that over, start getting it over there, but I don't think that's worth it. I think we're done. Now, Mr. Time can move 1 agent. Yeah, let's move the Prowler over there. And then we'll spend 1 energy to move back here and end our turn. There's no artifact, but we can complete this mission. Boom. And we are halfway done. The new mission will be right here. That says, make a fool of Faux. Do a loop in Dr. Faux's era 4 times. Wow, okay. That's a fun one. Oh, and we get a card. So we get to draw 2 and pick 1. Okay, yeah, I like the Time Seeker Needle, I think. We'll use that one. Okay, and let's clean up. This seems like a good one for Robo, but I'm worried about this era over here. These are in real danger. So we might want the Time Prowler. Ooh. That has to go to Robo and Robo. Wow, okay. So we had to use the Robofinisher. I'm now wishing I had put the Time Seeker Needle there, but that's okay. Okay, clones. 2 of them. Oh, wow. This is where a lot of bad stuff might happen. Green. Could have been worse. We're doing 3, but a lot of stuff could blow up right here. Oh, and we survived. That was incredibly lucky. If 2 had showed up here or here, then we would have had a vortex. But it worked out. Fantastic. Okay. Now we're kind of delaying the inevitable, it feels like. Yeah, Robofinisher has to get over here, has to start clearing off some of those. So, okay, with this, we can at least remove one of these. There's no green clones to move in to try to complete that. I guess she can try to do a loop there. Oh, man. Move to any era, then push 1 to an adjacent. We just got really unlucky. Add to an adjacent. Oh, boy. Okay, she's going to use these boots to hop over here and push. Now she's going to loop. And because she did that, she looped in Dr. Faux's location there. Then she's going to use this to remove another rift. I guess she'll add an energy here. Use her move. I don't think she could... Oh boy, there's nothing else she can do. She can't loop that. I think she's done. That's it. Oh boy. That was not a great turn. She can get one of these cards though. Yeah, she's gonna get the Kabuki mask. That might be helpful. Cleanup time. Things are about to go really bad. I can pretty much guarantee. We really want... Yeah, we really want the Time Prowler. Okay, there we go. Moment of truth, right here. Oh, the worst one. That's the worst one. It's gonna be 3. This is bad. Oh, no. 2 came here. She can't stop both of them. So she'll stop this one, but this place just exploded. So what happens? All of these go away. All the rifts go away. You destroy this. This is gone. All your progress wiped out completely. Any cards that were there would also go away. And you put out one of these Mega Vortex. Now the Mega Vortex is bad because that means that our agents cannot end their round in this era. We will automatically lose if that happens. They can go there, they can do stuff there, they can move through, but they can't end the round there. And this is permanently closed. We're never going to have any sort of mission there. Also, if a second vortex were to come in this spot, we will instantly lose. So now we need to find a new mission, because there's always 2 active missions out on the board. Normally it would be where Dr. Faux is, but he's right here, so we just go clockwise to the next spot. That's going to be right here. So we need to surround Dr. Faux. You and another agent are on the 2 eras adjacent to Dr. Faux. We need to do that 3 times. Wow, okay. I hadn't seen that one before. Okay, I have an idea. This quantum wrench is great. This lets us remove a rift from one of the next 2 eras. Boom. That is exactly what we needed. I want to use this cube to move. Then I want to loop. So we're going to spin that to loop this quantum wrench. We looped in Dr. Faux's era. So now we're halfway done with that. I'm going to use the quantum wrench again. Okay, we can't afford to lose that era, so that is a little bit of a sigh of relief. Push a clone in any era to an adjacent era. Well, sweet. Let's push this into here. Done. I can then swap my agent with any clone. Cool. I'm going to swap with this clone. That gets me there. Now I can use these 2 to loop again. I want to keep looping that quantum wrench. I'm now going to use my free move to come here, use that quantum wrench again. Boom, completely clear that area out. And now I'm done. And we are ending our turn surrounding Dr. Faux. So we can complete that. Beautiful. What a round. Gosh, I really wanted Robofinisher to go. God, let's see if we can get Robofinisher. Okay. Robofinisher and Robofinisher. Great. We did it. All right. That wasn't bad. Only 3 are going there. Okay. Why did I want Robofinisher again? This is flawless strategy going on here. Okay. Well, this virus sample's fantastic, right? Destroy 1 clone in Dr. Faux's era and 1 in an adjacent. Ooh. Well, that's good. We get rid of that thing. That thing's super far away. We're trying to surround Dr. Faux. We're trying to get to here. Okay, okay. I think we can get there. We want to loop here. So we want to get here and then loop. And then end up here so we're surrounding Dr. Faux. That's the goal. And try to destroy things along the way. That's what we're trying to do. I think we can do this. Okay, so we're going to move using some power. And this Enigma machine says acquire an artifact from any era, add 1 energy to that card's origin era. We can acquire this card, and we can add an energy, and now we're going to use that energy to move. I think we want to move again. I think now we want to use our time-proof coat to remove a rift from an adjacent location. Now, yeah, let's virus sample as well. So we'll destroy that, and we'll destroy this one, which will add another energy cube here. So now we want to move again, using an energy. We got to Dr. Faux's location, and we want to loop. So we'll spin that to loop. Yeah, let's loop the time-proof code, I guess, which we can then use. Yeah, no. We're not going to use that yet. Instead, we're going to use our power to move. We'll use the time-proof coat now to remove that. That's better. And now we're exactly where we want to be. Oh, sorry. We should mark this off. We did a loop. I think we're good. So that's it. So there we go. We mark that off. And we are really close, guys. We are really close to winning this game. Now we can take one of these cards, kind of like this one. Hoverboard on wheels. Yeah, let's do that. And we'll clean up. Okay, and we won't forget to do this first. Ooh, so we can decide who we want. I think maybe the Time Prowler. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, 2 clones. Ooh. That's not great. All right. Wow, that's going to be 5. 5 rift cubes. 2, 2, 1. And the Time Prowler can remove one of those. Let's get rid of that one. This is pretty good. We need to get the Time Prowler over here, do a loop right there. End up here, which will trigger this, and then complete that mission. And then Mr. Time or someone can come over there, complete that mission, and we're done. That's game. Problem is, how do we get over there? Yeah. So the Time Prowler was a bad choice because she can't get over there. Because none of these cards let her drop energy. She can move one space, but there's no energy around here. So we've made a slight tactical error. That's honestly... Okay, this is bad, guys. Oh, here. Push one to an adjacent era, then move to any era. The hoverboard on wheels is going to save us. Wow, okay. I think we use that right away, don't we? We'll push this to an adjacent era, and then move to any era. Kablam! We can remove one from your era, one of those rifts, and we can do a loop. Yeah? Do a loop. We'll get the hoverboard back. And that will complete this mission. Push one of these to an adjacent era. Okay. Let's do that. I guess let's just use our move to come here. This is where we need to be. Use our hoverboard. We can just push this over here. It's gone. Then move to any era. I don't really want to move. I want to stay right here. Then we could use two of these to do a second loop. We'll get that, and then we'll push this to an adjacent era, get rid of it as well. Cool. Great. And then we're done. We've surrounded Dr. Faux. We've completed this mission. We can then take that artifact. We can complete the mission that we're on. Number 3. This would be the new mission, but it's already gone. We go clockwise. The new mission is here. Not going to matter, though, because we're just going to go over there, complete that, and win. We do get to pick an artifact. Yeah, this one has move in it, so let's do that. And we just want Mr. Time, so boom. Mr. Time. Mr. Time's going to win it for us. Okay, so some things could still go wrong, but we're looking to be in pretty good shape. Having clones show up there is one of the things that could go wrong. Okay. Ooh, okay. That should be fine. No clones there, so only 2. This one fell out. There we go. Okay, this shouldn't be a problem. In fact, I don't think we really even need to do much. We'll just do that to get rid of that. I mean, none of this really matters. We'll use the steam locomotive to move here. This is crazy too, because look, we could have done some awesome looping. We have all 3 of the same symbol. Every loop could have untapped all of these. That would have been amazing. We could have gone over, done all sorts of neat things, removing all these things. We don't need to, though. We're where we need to be. Nothing else really matters. We'll just end their turn. And at the end of it, we can complete this mission, and we win. We have completed 4 missions. And we only had 1 vortex, which is not so bad. So there you go, guys. That is a complete solo run-through of the loop. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.